I first started my PMU journey, I was with a company, my mentor at the time, and I was her assistant, or my mentor's assistant, in this class. And I met Michelle, and we have been connected on and off ever since. I love this girl dearly. Um, we have a special connection, you know. So I'm so happy that I was able to have her here speaking to you guys. I think you guys are gonna love her presentation. She is so much to so many, including myself, Michelle. So thank you for coming. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about Michelle. Sorry, guys. It's a little hoarse. Michelle Runke is a multi-certified PMU artist and Pretty Rich Bosses coach. She has triumphed over traumatic and abusive childhood. Despite her challenging upbringing, Michelle is a determined individual and a multi-potential with a lot of irons in the fire. As the owner of Beaute Compound in Texas, Michelle brings her extensive experience and expertise to the table, specializing in all things brows. Michelle got her start in the industry by chaining with my. Did you just say this chaining with microblading with Jenny? With Jenny as her first instructor, that would be me. And went on to acquire additional education and certifications in various permanent makeup techniques. Her passion and commitment to her craft led her to organize various PMU conferences and has given her extensive knowledge and experience in this field. As a licensed esthetician in Texas, Michelle holds multiple certifications, including microblading, combination brows, and ombre brows, permanent makeup liner, lip blushing, micropigmentation, scalp pigmentation, stretch marks, and scar camouflage, and advanced paramedical tattoo. Michelle is a true master at her craft, and her dedication to her client satisfaction and success has earned her a reputation as a leader in the PMU industry. She is also the operations director of the American Academy of Micropigmentation as well as a board member. I want you guys to give my friend, my lovely friend Michelle, a special welcome onto the stage. Thank you for coming.
You are the reason why I can see through the darkest nights, the light of my life, the way the truth alive. The reason why I can see through the darkest nights, the light of my life, the way the truth alive, my Christ.
Can everybody hear me? Yeah? I want to thank you so much for that warm introduction, Jenny. That's incredible, so kind of you. I want to start by acknowledging all the hard work that goes into events like these. So thank you to all the team behind the scenes, to Jenny giving me this opportunity. I love you so much. Alma, Maria, amazing for all of the coordination you've done. For all of the speakers who have come here to share their knowledge with you, as well as all of you who are choosing to be here today to invest in yourselves. Next slide. Oh, sorry, first slide. Let's see. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here we are. Collaboration and community. So as Jenny mentioned, I have a special connection with her. I consider you my trainer, Jenny. You were the one there teaching, so you're my trainer. She was my very first microblading trainer in 2016. She not only taught me this incredible skill, but has also become a close personal friend. And like she said, we've collaborated throughout our journeys together on various projects over the years. And this industry is such a wonderful place when we embrace collaboration, when we connect with others and embrace opportunities. The possibilities are limitless. I would love to know, if you can raise your hand, how many of you have fostered some amazing connections already? Yeah, everybody. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so excited to get to know all of you after this. So please, if I haven't met you already, even if I have, just come over and say hi and let's chat. I love connecting, as many of you already know. Next slide, please. Okay, that's me. I'm Michelle Rukny. I'm a mom of 2 boys. You see my boys there. The wife of an incredible, supportive husband, also daughter of the king. And I'm also, wearing a lot of hats in this beauty world. Like she said, I'm operations director at the AAM, the American Academy of Micropigmentation. I'm a business coach, I'm a business owner, and I've been knee-deep in PMU for about 7 amazing years. And I also own a full-service studio, the Beaute Compound in Spring, Texas. It's also where I host my trainings. And the thing is, those titles, they only tell a part of the story. I want to peel back the layers, and I want to get to the raw and real stuff of what got me here, which is my resilience and my grit. Next slide, please. Now, before we dive into this, I want to give you a heads up, trigger warning, because we're about to get real and raw in this conversation, and we're going to touch on some topics such as sexual abuse, drug addiction, and I don't want anyone to be caught off guard. So the reason is because if we're going to talk about things like resilience and grit, those are some real life threads that weave into a lot of our stories. And those things take root whether we realize it or not. I also want to extend an open invitation to all of you to be open and vulnerable and candid in your participation, because this is a no judgment zone. And here's why. Because we all have our things. Those experiences that have left their mark on us, maybe even shaped us. But it's what we do with it that defines us. Are y'all ready to go deeper with me today? Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, that's me, 5 years old. Cute, right? That little girl seems so happy. And anyone looking from the outside in would probably assume that she has a good life, clean, put together, always smiling. But what they can't see is that smile is merely a mask. In her short 5 years, that little girl was already a broken soul. Now I want to paint a clearer picture for you. So I grew up in a single-parent home, sharing a small apartment in a sketchy part of Houston with my older brother and my mom. And sure, there was gang violence at our schools and in our neighborhood, but that wasn't the toughest part. Living with a severely alcoholic parent was the real challenge. Well, one of the many challenges. Not only did I learn to take care of myself, but I also had to take care of an intoxicated adult, feed her, tuck her in, and then fend for myself, all at the tender age of 5, maybe even earlier. Addiction, as many of you know, is a tough beast, but surprisingly, it wasn't the toughest beast that I faced at such a young age. Next slide, please. All right, we're jumping ahead 3 years. That's me at 8 years old, still with that enduring smile, still radiating happiness. From the outside, everything appearing perfectly normal. Yet that little innocent girl right there had no idea, no inkling that her world would shatter that year. At the tender age of 8, I became the survivor of 2 traumatic sexual experiences. Those experiences that forever altered the trajectory of my young life. They left a profound mark on the person that I was becoming, and I struggled to find ways to cope, and I lacked the words, much less the courage to ask for help. And my mother's poor choices didn't help. They brought abusive men into our home, the darkest period starting when she discovered crack cocaine. And of course, that led her to jail, which that happened during my high school years, crucial high school years as a woman, growing woman. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I know I'm not alone, and neither are you Whatever your story is, I'm here to encourage you to continuously teach yourself to stand in your power and bounce back, no matter what got you to this place. Next slide, please. Okay, I want to try a little exercise. If you could you turn on your flashlight on your phone and just set it down for a second, please? Just turn on your flashlight. And if any of these statements resonate with you, just hold your flashlight up for me. How many of you have ever felt stuck or defeated? How many of you have witnessed something or been through something that had a noticeable impact on how you view yourself or your business? How many of you have had to depend on yourselves? Maybe you feel trapped, alone. Who here is willing to look at their mindset and really evaluate what is serving and what is not? Who here is willing to stand in their power and use pain for purpose and turn defeat into growth? Now look around. Keep your lights up. I want you to look around. Do you see we're so much more alike than we think? Thank you, ladies. You can turn your lights off. We all carry our things. Maybe if we're willing to be intentional with our mindset, we can identify what might be blocking us or holding us back from our greatest achievements. It starts here and now. There's so much more to our stories, including my own struggles with drugs and alcohol, terrible choices in relationships, and then the incredible turnaround of mindset and spirit, thanks to the one and only Yahweh, the creator of all things, that has led me to this moment here on this stage right now. Next slide, please. Oh, sorry, no, go back. There we go. So, as you've been wondering, why is she confessing all these things, these deep, dark secrets that we're supposed to keep hidden and supposed to keep buried? Well, it's because these very experiences laid the foundation for my resilience and my grit, and I've learned that these types of experiences lay the foundation for so many others. What I've shared is just one layer of my journey. There are countless layers to all of our journeys. We're going to dive deep into how we can utilize our resilience and how we can transform our outcomes with a simple change in mindset. Next slide, please. Okay. We've all played with a rubber band, a hair tie. This is resilience. In simple terms, it's about bouncing back. It's about having the capacity to recover from life's physical and emotional stresses without losing your core essence. It's that innate ability to just bounce back and rise above the challenges. When we look at life's various aspects, failures, disappointments, challenges, it's evident that some people emerge from them stronger than ever, while others remain stuck and defeated, unable to move forward. But why is this? My hope is that by the end of this, you're not only going to be able to recognize the incredible power of your own resilience, but you'll have some valuable tools in your pocket to better navigate these tough situations. And now you're probably wondering, well, how does all this information apply to our lives in the context of our business and our entrepreneurial journeys? Next slide, please. To begin, I want to start by exploring the steps of the bounce back process so we can learn how to recognize them and also navigate through them to emerge stronger. These steps are invaluable, especially for those of us who find it challenging to pick ourselves back up. Dr. Nina Bouchen is an author who has a powerful story of resilience. She lost her entire family when she was in high school, and she's very passionate about resilience and grit. And I've been so inspired by some of her books, and I've taken pieces of them and added my own input, my own experience, my own thoughts to share with you today. Now, can you think of a time where some situation happened and you were put in this situation and you needed to bounce back? Yeah? Did you bounce back? Yeah? How's your bounce back game? Is it good? Good? Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. A fall. A fall represents an unexpected situation that disrupts our equilibrium. In our context, that could be an unhappy client. It could be criticism on a social media Facebook group. Maybe you took a class and you don't feel great about your skill. Or maybe you didn't get that storefront that you really wanted. In those moments, you might feel defeated, you might feel hurt, you might even feel cast as a victim. But here's a concept I want you all to reflect on. Is this moment truly a negative thing? Maybe we can shift our perspective and see it as an opportunity in disguise. Because sometimes monumental events need to happen for us to initiate real change. It doesn't erase the unpleasant emotions and feelings that happen along with these situations, but changing your mindset is going to help reframe what's actually happening. So instead of thinking, I'm a failure, you shift to, I'm learning, I'm growing. Rather than saying, I can't do this, you say, I can do hard things. That's a little ode to my bestie, Sheila. And instead of questioning, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to learn from this? Next slide, please. The first thing I want you to write down is, falling is a gift. You can also take a picture of it. Falling is a gift. And on the count of 3, I want you all to say it with me. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Falling is a gift. A little louder. Falling is a gift. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, step 2. Preparing the blaze. So I see my setbacks as the fuel that propels me forward. In this phase, you're taking those negative emotions that you're experiencing during the fall and you're letting them simmer. Eventually, they're going to start to grow and they're going to prepare you for the things that you need in order to start that fire for change. Have you ever had something happen to you and then you sleep on it and then the next day you have an epiphany, right? Maybe you chose this industry because you had a fall. And then you devised a plan to transform your life for the better. This is what I mean by preparing the blaze. Immersing yourself in those feelings and formulating a game plan to redirect the negative into a positive force. At this stage, you're not taking action just yet. You're just crafting up a plan, an action plan to turn things around. And you're not letting emotions take over. I know I'm guilty of getting a little emotional sometimes. You're going to come up with a well thought out plan. When I'm in this phase, I like to write things down on paper. It's so important to write things down. These are the steps that I'm writing down to lead me to my goal. Maybe you didn't get that desired space. Talk to a commercial realtor, get an accountant, get my finances in order. Those are the steps you're going to take, right? Maybe you don't feel confident in your artistry. Pick up that machine. Get some extra latex. Practice harder than anybody you know. Find a mentor. Maybe you find more time to make yourself better. Next slide, please. The second thing I want you to take a screenshot of or write down is, I'm preparing the blaze for change. And again, I'm going to have you say it with me so it stays ingrained in you. So on the count of 3, I'm preparing the blaze for change. 1, 2, 3. I'm preparing the blaze for change. Next slide, please. All right, step 3, sparking the blaze. This is the phase where the actions become the spark that ignite that roaring blaze of transformation. It's also the stage where a lot of people freeze. And this is because taking action, it can feel scary, risky, intimidating. I know this very well because I remember a time when I was in this really toxic relationship. Can anybody relate? Right? I knew this guy was cheating on me, but I couldn't find the strength to leave. And I didn't have the evidence either, but I couldn't find the strength to leave. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna see, maybe we can move to Miami. I'm gonna go to Miami, be a bartender, make some money, and then bring him over. If change of scenery is gonna help, right? So I started bartending in Miami, which worked out well. I was making good money until I started getting messages from my friends back home. And this was back in the day, so the picture quality was very bad. So it was grainy pictures, but they were still gut-punching pictures of him doing all the things, not with me. That was a fall. That was a big fall. Those images, they hit me like a ton of bricks, and they represented so much more outside of him. And I decided I'm taking action. So I hopped on a Greyhound bus from Miami to Houston, a 2-day journey that I do not recommend to anybody. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. I still have PTSD from that journey, but I chose to be bold. And during those 2 days, I was meticulously planning my exit, gassing myself up, fueling that fire for change. And he had no idea that I was coming home, which added like a spicy twist to the story. Now imagine yourself going home, you get there, and it's filthy. You can tell it's party central. Scattered girls' clothing everywhere, size small, not mine, definitely not mine. It was a mess. Not only that, I got an added bonus of a used condom on the bathroom floor. And I think I've painted a detailed enough picture at this point. So I'm telling you this because I want to explain the severity of the situation. There was no question at that point what was going on. I got the confirmation I needed, and it was a mess. Of course, no one was home when I got there. And I texted him, "Where you at?" "I'm home." I was laughing, I was chuckling a little bit, but the fire in me was still raging. I was very, very upset. But I knew this time, when he walked through those doors, he was out. So around 2 a.m., he stumbles in, from the club or whatnot. Shocked to see me. Trying to sneak hide all the clothes to the left and to the right. Trying to pick up that scattered mess. And within an hour and a liberating finale of words, he was picking up his things as I was dramatically tossing them off the balcony. The pictures and the evidence, that was my fall. The 2-day bus ride gave me the time to plan the action, and then taking action was the spark that started the fire. All of these components are essential elements for change, because initiating change demands action. Next slide, please. So, the third thing I want you to screenshot or take a picture of or write down is action is the spark to transformation. And I want to say it together. 1, 2, 3. Action is the spark to transformation. Next slide, please. Okay. Step 4, embracing it all. Now let's complete this circle. How many of you have ever wanted to give up? Maybe you came here as a last resort to save your business. Maybe you're scared to take that next step. You feel like quitting. Okay, this is for you. I want you to picture that you're standing in the center of a dark room, think like a storage space size, and all around you are containers, okay? Each one of those containers holds a piece of your life, your past, your childhood, your quirks, your talents, and yes, even your flaws. And this step, embracing it all, is like turning on the brightest light you've ever seen and it allowing you to see every detail, every nuance of your being. Remember, this is about recognizing your true self and shedding those layers of self-deception that you've carried for far too long. But it's not just about introspection. It's also about outward action, forgiveness. Now, I want you all to take a deep breath with me. Imagine forgiving the people in your life that don't have faith in the decisions that you want to make for your business. Could be a partner, maybe a family member. Maybe they even told you, why are you going to Atlanta? Why are you going to the PMU Women of Color Conference? You're going to lose money. Why are you taking that class? Permanent makeup? That's my favorite. Like, yeah. You're here. You're doing it anyways. So forgive yourself and free yourself from the weight of that judgment. Be an example for yourself, not others. As you do this, your compassion, it expands and it starts clearing out those containers we just talked about. They're just taking up space. It's not going to be easy because those containers, it's like a storage unit filled with clutter, passed down generation to generation, mom, dad, all the things you've collected over the years, your memories, your experiences, both the beautiful and the challenging. But here's the thing, when you choose not to forgive or properly bounce back, you're hoarding negative emotions and grievances into those storage containers, and those are taking up precious space. That space is actually reserved for the things that are meant for you, like love, growth, success, fulfillment, happiness. As you embark on this journey, I want you to visualize yourself stepping into that room, turning on that bright light, and gradually releasing all of those grudges and resentments and judgments that have cluttered your emotional storage. Embrace your journey and be proud of who you're becoming. You're in charge of this process, so take the reins and stand in your power. Next slide, please. So I want you to take a picture of this or write it down. And this isn't just a statement, it's a powerful visualization. If you could, when you do this with me, I want you to put your hand on top of your chest, your hands on your heart, and I want you to feel the vibrations of your voice and the power that you have in the sound of your voice. And I want you to say on the count of 3, I forgive myself. 1, 2, 3. I forgive myself. Louder. I forgive myself. Now the power is in your hands. Next slide, please. Thank you. In closing, I want you to envision your journey through resilience and transformation as an open book with no end. I want you to see that every fall becomes a gift and that ignites the flames for change. It should serve as a catalyst for your growth. Because as we rise from adversity, we gather those embers and those ashes of our experiences, yet we proudly own every twist and every turn. It's your story. Own it. The path's not always going to be smooth, but we possess the tools to transform setbacks into success. And as you continue forward, just practice compassion for yourself and for others. They're battling silently their own struggles. And be aware of patterns too. Choose to bounce back with a plan. Next slide, please. I want to leave you with a final quote from my ultimate source of strength, God, the creator of all things, as written in Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Let it serve as a daily reminder that you are capable, you are fierce, and you are loved beyond measure. Stand tall and let your inner strength shine. Next slide. I want to thank you all for letting me have this moment.